Okay, so the PS Portal's been out for a while now. I heard some good things and I heard some bad things, and it really seemed to boil down to user experience and how you wanted to use it and what you wanted to use it for. So I decided to go ahead and grab one. This new Midnight Black Edition looked pretty sleek, so I said, okay, let me go ahead and try for myself. My favorite way to play any games is definitely handheld. It's why my Switch gets so much use. I can just sit on the couch, enjoy my favorite games, not have to take up the TV. Everyone else can still use the TV. I can go and bring it to work, throw it in my backpack. I got my favorite games on the go. So it's just my definite preferred method of playing anything is handheld. So if I could play my PS5 games like that, all right, it's definitely worth a try. And for 200 Canadian dollars, I mean, that's not a little amount of money, but it's not as much that I can't go ahead and just give it a try and see for myself. So I decided to go ahead and grab one of these. I've been using it for a couple days now. I have some thoughts. I'm going to share them. First, we're going to do a quick unboxing because any part of any presentation when you buy something is how they present it to you. The box, the packaging, how it feels when you first take it out. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick unboxing. If you don't want to see that, go ahead and skip forward 2 minutes and then we'll go ahead and get on with the review. I play every other handheld, so why not? I really love handhelds, as you can see. I use them every day, daily, and it's probably my favorite way to play games, sitting on the couch. So you can see here, PlayStation. I think it's appropriate that we used Raziel's claw to open this. All right. Let's see what we got, PlayStation. I feel like this could have came in something a little more protected. There you go. So, jumping back from the past, we're going to take a look at this actual design of the unit itself. If you look at this thing and you just look at it for its face value, it kind of looks like they just took a PS5 controller, cut it in half, and slapped it on a screen, which, I mean, it's kind of what they did. But I don't think it looks that bad. There were some people when this came out that were knocking the design and the look of it. I personally think, as someone who plays a lot of handhelds, owns almost every handheld besides a lot of the, mini PCs and stuff. But as far as all the Nintendo branded, all the PlayStation branded, all the mainline console handheld devices, I have them all. I've played them all and I use them all frequently. All of them. So I think I have a fairly good idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to actual build quality. And I can tell you that this is my favorite device to hold. PS5 controllers are obviously very comfortable, and this feels like you're just holding a PS5 controller. It literally feels no difference. I know the joysticks are a little bit smaller, but I don't think you'll really notice that. And if they were as big as a PS5, I think it would actually feel a little bit clunky. I have fairly big hands, and this thing feels perfect for me. So I don't think you're going to have any issues as far as anything there goes. Now, as far as the actual performance, which is the important thing, you're going to have to think about why you're buying this in the first place. I wanted to buy this because I love handheld gaming. If you give me a reason and a way to play any game that I enjoy that's normally not on a handheld, I'm going to do it. I love emulating games on my phone. I love playing streaming games from my computer in my office to my laptop downstairs. I like being able to take big experiences and putting them on a small screen. It's just something I enjoy doing. I like playing handhelds. It's my preferred way. So for me, this was kind of a no-brainer. I waited a while because I wanted all the hiccups and anything that they would have to sort out to be done and over with, but it's been over a year now since the PS Portal's been released, and it's been a while now since this Midnight Black one's come out. So I figured this is as safe as time as any to go ahead and get one. So the performance, like I said, me already going in, knowing what I wanted it for, knowing that I don't have the greatest internet, I didn't expect anything too spectacular. But I'm going to tell you that when this thing runs good, it runs perfect. My internet at home, like I said, is kind of spotty. When my internet is working well, this thing works perfectly. So therefore, this thing works wonderfully if you have good internet. So it's not on the device if you're not getting a good experience. If you need a good experience out of this, you're going to have to make sure you have some decent internet at home or wherever you do plan on using it. I know there was some rumors when this thing first came out, things that I thought myself as well, was that you had to be connected to the same Wi-Fi your PS5 was to use this. That's absolutely not true, and I think that's been dismissed as many times as needs to be at this point. You can use this at any point, at anywhere you want, as long as you are connected to Wi-Fi and your PS5 is also at home connected to Wi-Fi. It doesn't have to be the same Wi-Fi. You can be anywhere you want. I use this at work, and because I have better Wi-Fi at work than I do at home, I actually get a better quality connection and a smoother gameplay at work than I do at home, which is weird, but that's just how it is. My PS5 is hardwired, so most of the experience that I'm getting, like I said, is coming from the Wi-Fi that I'm connected to at the time. So if you have good Wi-Fi wherever you are, you're going to get a nice flawless experience on this. I don't play first-person shooter games, and I tend not to play too many fighting games. Everything else I do play. But RPGs and single-player games are my bread and butter. So something like that, if that's something you play, you're not going to notice any kind of a hiccup on this. And if there is any kind of an input delay or a lag, you definitely won't see it. Now, as far as input delay and lag and performance and stuttering and any kind of limitations go, I haven't really seen them. I find that this thing is smart enough to actually lower the resolution on the game you're playing before it'll give you any kind of a input lag or any kind of a, delay. So the resolution going from 1080p down to 720p will happen once in a while when your internet drops, but the actual game performance itself, I haven't found any hiccups for. Now, like I said, you're obviously not going to get the exact same experience because you are streaming from your PS5. So you're not going to feel the exact same as when you're playing directly from your PS5 on your TV as you are when you're playing this. But I really haven't noticed, and it doesn't take more than 10 to 15 seconds for that kind of feeling to go away, and then you don't really notice anymore. At first, you're like, okay, yes, there's a little bit of a delay, and maybe depending on your Wi-Fi, it doesn't feel super, super flawless. But that quickly goes away if your Wi-Fi is good. I noticed, like I said, when my Wi-Fi is performing well, this thing performs beautifully. So if you have good internet, that's the main thing. You'll have a great time with this thing, as I have. Now, as far as anything else goes, as far as limitations, I haven't noticed any. There's a great headphone jack. If you want to use Bluetooth, I'm pretty sure you got to actually get some Sony branded stuff, which is kind of a dick move on Sony's part. But I mean, AAA companies are going to be AAA companies. So, it is what it is. But overall, I think if you want to be able to play your PS5 sitting on your couch or play your PS5 at work and you have some decent Wi-Fi and your PS5 at home is hardwired into your modem and you have it connected through Ethernet, I think this is worth a buy. For the 200 shekels I paid Canadian for this, I mean, that's not necessarily super cheap, but it's not really that expensive either. It's cheaper than a Pro controller. So, I mean, for the price that some people pay for a really good controller, you get a really good controller with a screen attached to it that you can play your PS5 on anywhere you go as long as there's internet. That's pretty good. Now, if you think about it, your phone, it has internet. Online gaming does not take up a lot of data. You could literally be on a train or a bus and put on your hotspot and try it that way. I did it. It worked okay. So, like I said, it really depends on what your limitations are, not this thing's limitations, because this thing doesn't really have any. If you have good internet, this thing's going to work really well, and I definitely recommend getting one. I've been playing it for, like I said, about a week now, and I haven't noticed any kind of a negative experience at all. And when I did, like I said, that was on me because my internet wasn't great. So overall, it feels good to play. It looks really nice. The games run smooth. The screen is nice and crispy. So, if you like handheld gaming and you have a PS5, to me, if you got the extra money to shill out for this, it feels like a no-brainer, personally. But like I said, I'm biased. I'm a Sony fan. I am a definite handheld fan. So, I'm actually surprised it took me as long to get one of these as it did. I actually kind of forgot they existed for a little while. But now that I'm using it, I mean, even when my TV's not being occupied, I still just go and default to this. I could be sitting in my living room. My PS5 is right there. I have an 80-inch TV right there ready to use. Nobody else is in the room or wanting to watch TV, but I'm still just deciding to play on here because it feels cozy and it's comfortable. And maybe it's just because it's new, but I like it. So if you have any, like I said, qualms about getting this, I would say don't. I'd say go ahead and grab one. It's definitely a safe bet for the price that they come and the look and the feel and the build quality and everything else. I'd say it's a no-brainer. The battery life lasts a long time. So I got up to 6 hours out of this thing playing Soul Reaver the other day. So I guess it would really depend on the game you're playing probably too, how intense it is and what settings you have. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some settings you can change as well. If you set your PlayStation to be default 1080p output and you change your refresh rate to be 60 hertz, then that's the same as this. So you're not pushing any kind of extra, bandwidth that you don't need to be, and you'll get even more of a flawless, smooth experience. So I'd say if you were looking to get one of these, it's late enough in the cycle now that I'd say it's a safe bet. Any kinks that they had before have definitely been worked out. And overall, I'm really enjoying this thing. I'd say it's definitely worth in 2025 to go ahead and pick up a PS Portal if you are getting it for the right reasons and if you have good internet. So there is some caveats there, And if you're getting it for the right reasons, but you don't have good internet, then you're probably just going to be upset that, oh no, I really am enjoying this thing, but I can only enjoy it in certain places. So if you have good Wi-Fi wherever you plan on using this, I think you're going to have a really good time. If you don't, I'd say that this is one you're going to have to miss for now. So that's pretty much all I got to say on the PS Portal. I hope I didn't ramble on too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of my day enjoying Soul Reaver. Have a good one, guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and jump in the Discord if you guys want to hang out and talk about this kind of stuff. I'm always in there yapping about everything about the video game industry. And yeah, that's it.